Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. Welcome back to my shop. So, had an easy project come in the door. Figured I'd film it because I haven't put any video content out in the last couple weeks. I apologize for that. Just been slow here at the shop. Also, I've been working on the jib crane. You guys talked me into going to an electric hoist, so I got rid of the manual chain fall and I'm rigging up in an electric one. So I just made the brackets so I can hook the wire cable, that's going to have the little pulleys on it. And hi chaos, of course I hit the record button. See, I got this toy. So anyway, so yeah, I'm making those brackets so it'll retain the cord up in the air, it won't get in the way. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. Interesting project in that this is for a Terramite. So you guys that are into the agricultural equipment, you know what I'm talking about. So he brought me the manual. So this is a case Terramite. It's a number 644, which apparently this stuff is like obsolete. And let's see if I can show the picture of it. There it is. So you guys see down there. So basically it is a backhoe, but it is like small and the track is narrow, how I understand it. So which is like perfect for digging graves and stuff, really. Apparently that was pretty common what this thing was used for, so you could get in between the grave sites and dig the graves. Of course, it's got other capabilities, but I guess that's where it shines. So don't make these anymore, and all the tractor supply places, they're like, yeah, we don't have any of those parts. So you got to go on the internet and maybe get lucky on a new old stock. Maybe somebody's got one on the shelf, but otherwise you're SOL. So that's why you come to me. So simple stuff. You got here, so this is the selector, and the previous owner, because I don't know, you guys see that hole where it wallered out, just welded a washer in there so you'd have a hole. Hi chaos, I know buddy, just God, man, he's relentless. And so this is a selector. I think this is like forward, this is neutral and reverse, or vice versa. Looking at this looks good actually. He thought it was worn, but using a gauge pen, it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go closer. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's still got original orange paint here and original orange paint up in there. So this is not really worn. There's a bushing that rides in here for the shift lever, and I think the bushing is worn. So he forgot to bring me the bushing. He's gonna bring me the bushing so I can remake that. So all we need to do here really is get rid of this washer, weld up this hole, and re-drill that hole, and this should be good. And then let's see here. So this is some sort of pin that goes in here, and you can see, well, the pin has been bent. So I think I can just heat this up and get her straight and get her back to where she needs to be. If not, we can make a pin, but just trying to save the customer some money. So I think, like I said, just heating it up, I think we can get her about 99% straight. We should be good there. And of course it rides in this slot here, and you can see hopefully down here in the bottom the slot is kind of worn out. Maybe that's a better shot. So then what we can do, you can weld this up too and then mill this slot. So, and this is for occasional use, so this should work just fine for the guy. So that's what we got to do. Fix this, fix that, fix this hole, and maybe make a bushing. So it's fairly easy stuff, but this is job shop stuff, working on obsolete parts. So helping the guys out and making a little money in the process. So let's I guess get a plan of attack and we'll get started. All right, here's the parts diagram for what we're working on. Helped explain it a little bit better. You guys need a visual. So there's that plate right there. There's the worn out hole that we're going to weld up and re-drill. And you can see that bushing right there rides in that slot. So that's probably what we're going to have to remake right there. And then of course you've got this here, which there's that pin. So that pin goes in there, and that looks like a foot pedal of some sort. So that's what we have to repair, get that thing straight. So hope that makes sense. Over here at the mill, I think what I want to do is I want to find the location of this hole. So I got to stop here, and what we'll do is we'll come over and find out where it is after I weld it up. I won't have any problems. I won't have to make a jig or anything. Alright, that looks good. And I got one of my jacks that I made, a machinist jack, and we'll put that under there. And that way we can put that hole back accurately where it needs to be. So now we'll go over to the welding table, we'll get this washer off, and we'll get this hole welded up. Got one more hidden right there. Alright. So I've got a, what's that, about 5/16 thick piece of copper. We'll just use that to back the hole up, and I'm just going to fill this in with weld. So the weld is cooled down, and seeing that I've got 2 milling machines, you know, what the heck, let's come over here and we'll just mill this down. I did take an angle grinder and, you know, hit the high spots and got it, you know, pretty level, but I figured, well, we'll just, you know, overkill it, and we'll just, you know, take it all the way down to the face with an end mill. That way I don't worry about, you know, gouging the parent material with an angle grinder. So we'll hit this, and then we'll flip it over and get the other side flat, and then we'll take it over and put the hole in it. gotta be careful I don't run into my back jaw there, but I thought this thing might sing a little bit, being that it's thin. We'll just take it easy. That was easy breezy. We'll flip her over and get the other side done. May be it. Maybe 5 more. So back over here at the knee mill, ready to put that hole in for this pin to go through. So let's get her done. All right, cool. I'll just take the Noga and just break those 2 edges on the hole, and this part's done. All right, time to get on this bracket. So just came over here, found my coordinates, got my stop right here so we can put this thing back in and mill this slot. I gotta bring it to me, I'll throw it. Can I have it? You know how this works. Like, I'll give it to you, but I don't want to give it to you. Oh, I got it. Pew. There you go. He's gonna drop it over there, watch. Yep. He's gonna make me work. Alright, I'm gonna send this one out the door. You ready? Good boy. Alright, I gotta get back to work, okay? Huh? Let me get back to work. Alright, let's get this bracket cleaned up. I already hit the high spots with the grinder. Should be about there. Maybe a little more. One more pass on this side, we'll probably have it. Yep, there she goes. Alright, let's get it over to the PM 950 mill. We'll get this slot milled out. All set up. Just have an inexpensive high-speed steel made in China 4-flute 3/8 end mill. Don't want to trash a good carbide one if I don't have to. So we'll just plunge through and then cut the slot, and after that I got to move over 5 thou. That pin is just a little bit big. It's like 3.78, 3.79, so odd size. Hang on. I'm in high gear, so get through this weld here. Like I said, I'm not sure how sharp this thing is. Hopefully the side flutes are sharper than these ends. We're almost through. There, up, starting to go. Trying to be gentle on her. Alright, we're through. I don't know if you guys see much from there or not. Let me move you. That better? Alright, we got about 600 thou to go. Looking good. I don't see any weld inclusions, so that's good. And I'm not touching that right side wall, so we may be okay. I might not have to move over. We'll check it once I'm done. I think I left enough clearance on the end mill holder to clear that back jaw. Alright, 1/4 of an inch to go. I'm just creeping up on it. Now 40 thou. That should be it. Here's the pin. So, all right, we're good. That worked out just right. I'm gonna turn it because this pin is not totally round either. They sure did pick an odd measurement. Well, there's the slot. Came out really nice. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but no weld inclusions. Let's see if I can hold it maybe. And just a little bit of witness mark here in the corner, so you can see we got it right where it needs to be. So pleased that this bracket came out really well. Customer did stop by and brought me the bushing, and it is hardened, so that's good. So I mean, there's no wear on this thing. This thing's perfect. So I mean, it rides in here just nice. And I mean, you got just a little bit of play, but you got to have some clearance so this thing moves. And these notches are put in by the factory. Like I said, this is neutral, and one of them's obviously forward and one of them's reverse. I'm not sure which one. So there's nothing really more to do on this bracket. I think he's just assuming that this is an issue, but I think a combination of this oblong hole and a bad slot and a bad pin is probably what's giving him the issues. So this is the only thing left to do is fix this pin. But I'm thinking, you know, instead of fiddling around with this and trying to get it, you know, straight, there's nothing really to it, you know. Just turn this down a little bit, thread this, put a hole, bang, bang, you're done, right? So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and make a new one. This is a grade 5 bolt, so this will be perfect. We'll get that out of this because I'm assuming this is just some sort of mild steel, and that's why it bent that easy. So let's get this head cut off. We'll get this chucked up in the lathe, and we'll get her turned and get some threads on her, and then we'll put her in the mill and put a hole, and we'll be done. Well, so much for a quick and easy make a pin. Check this out. Camera picking it up. See that run out? It's not the chuck. So, yeah, our bolt is actually got a bend in it. So that's not good. We may be able to machine that out, but I don't know if there's, you know, if it's a slight banana, if there's more of a bend farther in too on this piece. So we'll have to get another one, and I don't have any more grade 5s in this length. I don't believe, so we may have to do a grade 8. Huh, interesting. And just to show that it's not the 3 jaw, so there's a ground rod in there. We're about 2.5 thou, close to 3 total run out. So you're definitely within spec for a Toolmex brand 3 jaw. Sometimes I can get it dialed in just a little bit better. So definitely not the chuck. just taking it easy since we got a lot of stick out. It's not supported and it's kind of small. Alright, we're gonna measure. Just gonna come in here and make a mark where the threading should stop. Right there. Get this thing threaded. It's such a short thread, I'm not going to try to single point it. And then also the half nuts on this particular import are a pain to engage and disengage, so it's easy to miss your numbers. I've never liked threading on this lathe. The Monarch is such a joy to thread over there. So we are just going to do it with a die. I already chamfered the leading edge. Did that off camera. So it would be an easier start. It looks like we'll be fine here. She's cutting pretty good. I know you guys can't see it, but we're almost to our line. That should be it. Got it flipped around, we're just getting it face to length. That should be it right there. There, you guys in the way. All right, the lathe work should be done. So we need to put a cotter pin hole in this. They call this a control arm. So So there's the original, just got it lined up. So we're good there. This is my stop, and this is a number 32 drill. I get the parallels to cooperate. A little snug. All right. This is a stubby drill, so let's see if we can get her started without having to use a center drill, or she's gonna walk. Get lucky, it'd be nice. Make sure she's on. No, she's walking. All right. I think we'll reestablish where we need to be. Alright, we're through. Alright, I think this project is done. So here's the pin, or the control arm is what they call it. So that came out spot on. I'm happy with that. And then this slot, you know, showed you earlier, but came out right there on the money, and this thing goes in there, so got just a little bit of clearance, so it slides, but it's not sloppy, so that's good. And then of course it comes up through this hole, and we still got a really nice fit on this hole. So the only thing, this side came out really well. This side's got a couple of weld inclusions, which, you know, it's not worth going back and repairing, but I wish they weren't there. It's not going to affect the operation at all. So, and I think that's it. So I'll call the customer and let him know these parts are ready. He can put it back on his case, Terramite, and hopefully everything works out. And if there's another issue that pops this ugly head, then we can address that if need be. So, not rocket science, but I figured I'd show it. This is kind of stuff that comes in the door and pays the bills. So I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you hanging out with me in the shop. Thumbs up always help the algorithm. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And we will catch you on the next video and the next project. All right? See you guys. Bye. Show everybody what you got. Say it's new toy day. Hee hee, I'm happy. And it still squeaks. Huh? Show everybody your new toy. Well, drop it, I'll throw it.